Good morning, everybody. We started a little early today just for you guys. As you guys know, it is the time for love and relationship conversations. Um, as I said, guys, before we get started, do us a favor, help us grow on the algorithm, guys. Like, share, and smash that like button. It doesn't really take much. It's just a click and that's it. We understand that all the topics might not resonate with you, but like the ones that do. You know what I mean? Because again, it helps us climb up the algorithm, and we are here to offer the value through these conversations because not enough of these conversations are being had.
No, that's right. Then no, it's nice
So
and we love having these conversations as well, like we say every time. So yeah, it's really nice if you could support us. It doesn't take much, just a quick like and share.
yeah,
It does
exactly.
help us.
So in this space, as I said, we're not here to change the space. We're here to add value to the space. That's what our job is, right? A level of contribution, a different perspective. Because the thing is, everybody comes into this space and offers something different, right? So we just offer a different perspective. And you might not agree with everything we say, but if you could at least take away some things to make your life better, either in dating, personally, however you want to take it, we're definitely here to add that level of contribution for you, right? Because it's not about us, it's about the conversations that we have, and then people hearing those conversations and saying, "Oh, I've never heard it like that," or "Damn, like that really like resonated with me." So as we said, please guys, even the commenting helps. If you don't want to like the video, fine, but just you commenting helps us grow in the algorithm, and especially the views. So with that being said, let's get into today's topic. I know a lot of people are like, I want to know the difference between the two. So um I guess
Love and
this will be a
lust.
yeah, I guess this will be kind of like a vibe questionnaire. But Anthea, what would you say is the difference between love and lust?
Lust doesn't last. Love is long term lasting. Lust is something I think like you meet somebody and you kind of like have this like a physical connection or attraction, sorry, a physical attraction. You both
Yeah.
like lust over one another, which and normally is short term. I'm not saying it can't turn into love, because it can turn into love, but it's normally just like more of a sexual thing, conversation going on, more just like a few drinks and sex, let's say. And if then that can eventually, if you start spending more and more time together, then yes, it can turn to love, I think. But when love is different. You see someone from the beginning as somebody you want to spend time with, you want to grow with, you want to get to know, and you have a natural feeling of love towards them. So yes, you do have that sense of like attraction, connection, and you grow within that. But it's more in your both minds. It's like you both want to get to know one another. They have interest in it in one another at more than just a sexual level. So I think that's kind of the most basic side of it, Michael. What's your take?
Um, Ooh, it's very interesting. See, I'm gonna say this, guys. I've been in both, and I've taken the time to understand both. So I'm gonna break it down. Lust is more of in a sense of a level of infatuation. But that's the thing. It can turn to a relationship, like Anthea said. But I always look at it like this: when you meet someone and you lust after them, you're hanging out, you're getting to know each other. Sometimes it's not always physical. Sometimes like you guys aren't like having rolling around in the hay, but sometimes it's just like, like you lust for them, you love being around them. And then like let's say after the 3 month marker, I always believe that's when stuff gets real. And then
Mm.
that's when you know if the relationship or like what it is you guys are doing, if it's a real thing or if it's not. Because at that point, after 3 months, you really start to see like the person's good side, bad side. Like you really start to like see them, right?
Mm.
So um it's either gonna fizzle out or it's gonna like turn into something. And like I'll be honest, on the love side of things, like I've had like people in my life, like friends and romantically, that I've like loved. Like, and I mean like loved as a person. Like there was
Mm.
never that lust, like, ooh, like, yeah, they're attractive, but I meant like there was a true form of like genuineness.
Genuine, yeah, and I know that
Um,
feeling. Yeah, I know
yeah,
what
there
you're
was
talking
like it
about.
was like yeah, you're hot, but like I don't care about that. I actually care about you
Yes,
as like an individual, and I feel
yes,
like a lot of times people get them mixed up because it feels the same when they're
completely.
completely different, right? Because when you're loving someone, love is like it's selfless.
Yeah,
There's no hidden intention. It's literally like from the heart, from the soul, genuine. Any decision you make is always going to be like from a genuine space. It's never going to be like
you've got their
I
back,
want.
right?
Yeah, exactly. But it's like more of like it's never from a place of selfishness. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
it's, you
Like,
want to
yeah,
you want to see them grow. You want to help them achieve their goals. You want to
yeah,
be, you want to inspire them. You want to, like, there's a deeper feeling and
mhm,
thought process behind it. Like when you love someone, you want to support them. So even if you see things are not going right for them, or they've been, if they've been doing things that it wouldn't really, like, you don't like, you have that patience and time for them because you actually love them.
yeah.
And I think when you have, like you said, it's like it's an unconditional love when you're loving somebody. There's no like condition behind the love. It's not like if you do this, then I love you, but if you do this, then I don't love you. You just love them, and if they're doing things that are detrimental to the relationship, doesn't mean you're not, you still love them, but you just don't like what they're doing. But the love doesn't go away. But with
I
lust,
agree.
yeah, yeah, with lust, you'll just be like, you'll just walk. There's no kind of, there's no love attachment there.
See,
It's
I will
like you
say
don't
this.
really.
I like what you said. I really do. I feel like it should be that way. I feel like it should. But I also tell people let's be honest. When it comes to love, there are conditions.
Yeah, there are,
Because
but to a certain, so I think it comes to a certain degree where, um, if that continues and continues, and you have a conversation with that person because you love them and they love you, or whatever, however it is, then, and that's not being sorted, then, like we said the other day, when it's wants and needs,
yeah.
and those wants and needs and desires are not being met, then you then have to say to yourself, okay, like, it's not.
Well, there's a reason why I said that there are conditions because let's hypothetically look at it this way, right? When you're at the age that we're at right now, right? 30s, 40s. When you're looking to kind of like settle down, get a house, travel, whatever, right? Whatever lifestyle you want to live. You're gonna let's say you're gonna look at someone, you're gonna want to love them, but you're gonna see that certain things are lacking, right? Like let's say certain level of provisioning. Not that you're marrying the person for the money or anything, but there has to be a level of provisioning because you might love them, but you can't be with them.
Mm,
That's what I mean. Because at our age, like let's be honest, it's like when you're settling down with somebody, there's gonna be a financial aspect that needs to be looked at.
mm,
And if that certain thing is not there, or like let's say like I'll use a beautiful example. My friend brought it up yesterday. I love the dude to death. You're gonna like let's say you're a man and you're getting to date this girl, but she has huge credit card debt. You might want to like her and think about could it lead to love, but you might be like nah, like I can't do it because those conditions of like yo, like if we build something together, she has bad money spending habits. So that's what I'm
mm.
saying. Like there's certain things like yes, it should always be unconditional, but like as human beings, we're always gonna have some level of wanting certain conditions met before we even enter into something with you, like a relationship or whatever, and
I
especially
agree.
long term. Like you're
I agree.
going to have conditions because it would be foolish of you not to, because then you're putting yourself in a position um of not goodness if you're dealing with somebody, let's say, that has like huge credit card debt or like drinking and drugs. You could sit there and be like should just love them, but it's like no, certain things that they're doing are very detrimental to you guys building anything successful long term. So you might want to love them, but you know that that being with them is not a good option.
Yes, it doesn't mean you don't love them, is what you're saying.
Yeah,
Also, but it does. But being with them is a different kettle
yeah,
of
you
fish
can't be with them.
to actually loving them. Yeah, you're
Yeah,
right. There is conditions. I completely agree. You know, you can love somebody, you can love something through to the core, but if they're doing things that you know is just not going to work in the relationship unless they come to you and say like, this is what I'm doing to
yeah,
correct
or
this
work
thing,
for
like,
you. Like,
yeah, yeah, it's good. I think it has to work for you too, otherwise you're just going to be in a relationship that's kind of like a mess, and it ends up
yeah,
being for you, emotionally for you, because you're always having to maybe correct the right word,
yeah,
maybe
like
correct is the
you're
right, yeah,
yeah, like because let's be honest, let's look at it from a realist point of view, right? And I know, guys, you feel like we're all over, but everything comes full circle at the end. If you're a woman and you want marriage, like yourself, hypothetically, let's say you wanted marriage,
yeah,
right? And you meet a guy, everything's going good, you guys are getting to know each other, but you see like his life's a mess.
yeah,
And the sense of like he can't really travel that much. Um, and weddings cost money, like they're not free.
yeah,
And
exactly.
traveling but that's what I mean. You part of you might be like, I like him, I like him, I like him, but those certain things would prevent you from getting marriage or traveling. So then you might
Yeah,
not want to continue seeing that person or break up with them or whatever because of a lack of provisioning. So that's why I always say, yes, love should be conditional, but um we love with conditions.
yeah, yeah, yeah. You're right. You're right. I think the only time, I mean, for me personally, I don't know how every other parent takes this, but when you've got children, that I think that's the
That's
most
different.
unconditional
That
love.
is
Yeah.
different.
So it doesn't matter what they do, doesn't matter anything. You're just gonna be there and love them
there's only
regardless.
three things in this world that can love you unconditionally: your parents,
Yeah.
your children, and your pets.
Yeah. So true, right?
Those three things. Other than
Yeah.
that, no. Outside of that, no. Because that's the
Yeah.
thing. Your
It's
partner
funny
will love
because
you.
I was listening to something last night, and it was talking about like just loving regardless and just keeping your
Yeah,
focus
you
on
should.
what you love about that person, not what you see the mistakes. And then if you
Oh yeah.
continue, but then at the same time, if you continue to find the good things and that person is not changing and matching up to those good things, then the universe will bring you someone what
Yeah.
you see in your mind's eye and what you desire and what you want. So you're right. It's like and that could be a natural thing that happens. It could be very natural.
It
It's not
does.
like you're thinking, okay, like, I've had enough, or you could just be like, you know what, I'm just going to keep focusing on this, the good stuff of this person, keep focusing on it because I do love them and I do want to make this work. However, they're not adjusting to what your vision, what your wants, your needs, and your desires are. So therefore, they will
Well, they
slowly
might
be
not even be in the
pulled.
space to do so, or
Yeah,
they
that's what I
might have
mean.
fallen out of that space. Like when you met
Yeah,
them, they might have been that
been
way,
in that
but
way.
then
Yeah,
midway through the relationship, they kind of like fell out of it. And that's
yeah,
the thing. And when you're in this relationship with somebody or loving them, you might walk away because how they're living or what it is they're doing, nefarious behavior like cheating or whatever. You're not going to be like, I'm still going to keep loving them. Some people do, but
mm,
eventually at some point they leave.
mm,
Because
yeah,
I know women that have been cheated on like multiple times, and she's like, okay, I can make this work. We can stay, whatever, whatever. But at the end of the day, at some point, she bounced. She was like, no, because think about it. Put it this way: your love can only be tested so far.
yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And you can only be tested to a certain
Yeah,
degree because, like if we go back to the lust side, when you're just
mm,
lusting, there's no real. there's no real love behind it just yet. It's just that
No.
love, it's just that lust process. But when you go into the love process and you start feeling that love for somebody, and it's not being reciprocated, and they have changed to what you was originally. So many times we blame it on ourselves. Think, what did we do? What have I done? You know, what's gone wrong in me? What was I thinking? Why did I say that, or whatever it could be? But actually, just if that person isn't there with that, if they're not there with that, there's nothing, you know, and you can't take, and we say this all the time, you can't take it personal. But
No.
when it is a good love match, I mean, you know, you're gonna expand in so many ways together, you're going to connect in so many ways together, you're going to communicate together, you're going to make arrangements together, you're going to be going on holidays together if that's what you want to do. You know, all the things that you both desire will come together and align, and you'll just have a great relationship. Yes, you will have your problems in between, not saying that it's going to be like 100% amazing, but when two people do love each other like that and they want to be together and they want it to work, then, and actually I think it becomes it's not even like a conscious thing, oh, I want this to work, I want this to work. No, because love should be a very easy process. It's like easy to get on with each other, easy to have conversations, easy to be able to like what you see, easy to live your own lives and come together and live a life together. So one does their thing, the other one does their thing, but in between that, you're compensating, you're connecting, you're in touch with one another, and you're connecting with one another, and that can blossom into the most beautiful thing ever, and have one of the greatest relationships of your life, you know. But
Well, we
it's
also need to understand that love is a choice.
yeah, of course it's a choice. But I'm saying these two people, I'm saying if
Yeah.
two people getting together and they're choosing to be together, then absolutely that's what I'm saying. It's going to
Oh
become
yeah.
something quite beautiful because it's a choice, and it's not like, oh, I'm trying to make this work. It's a very ease and flow thing, and it's because they're choosing to want to speak with one another. They're choosing to spend that time together and do the things they love to do together. Where
I
if when
agree.
you're single, you go and do things that you love, but you're doing it by yourself or you're doing it with friends, and it's not quite the same if you're doing it with someone that you have that love for and they have that love for you. It becomes like you're not going to be kissing your friends, or you're not going to have your
I hope
arms
not.
around. Well, I hope not too.
I hope not.
No, and you're not going
I
to be
hope not.
holding their hand, or you're not going to be like being all lovey-dovey with them because they're your friends. But when you're like, I don't know, maybe you're visiting a beach or something, and with your friend, it's going to be a completely different experience to going with
Yeah.
someone that loves you and you love them. You're going to be doing different actions there, like compared to
Yeah.
what you're doing with your friends, right? So, yeah, I think, you know, lust can only go to a certain degree.
Well, I'm gonna say this. I think this is where people don't understand the difference because again, you'll ask somebody, like, let's say, okay, you'll hear someone say, I love this person, right?
Mm,
And then you ask them, well, what do you love about them?
and they don't know.
And they don't know. So
Mm,
clearly it's more of a lust thing
for
because
sure.
it's like if you can't answer why, like, and you hear it a lot, like, especially like in relationships when like they're being treated poorly and things like that. And you say, well, what do you love about them? And it's just quiet. And it's like, okay, so you're in a relationship with someone, you can't answer a question of what you love about them, and you know what I mean? So it's more of a lust because lust is like a burning desire. And as I told you guys, like I'm not ashamed to say it. Like there's been women I I thought I liked them. I even thought I even loved them, but no, I lusted after them. I love their attention, I love the energy, the bedroom fun, all of it. But there was never like a true intention behind it because that's the difference between the two. When you date and you
There's an
have
intention.
relationships with people, it should be intentional. There
I
should be a
agree.
purpose. Like if I'm bringing a woman into my life, I should have a purpose for her. That
Hmm.
purpose is for it to be, you know, dating, marriage, whatever, right?
Hmm.
And lust has no purpose.
No,
It just
that's
is.
you're so on point, and that's the difference, isn't it? It's intention behind it. It's your intention behind that. That makes the difference, not a huge difference, just makes the difference. Because if you're going
Yeah.
into something with intention, it's completely different to going without intention. Well, your intention could be just to have sex or just to have that fun together and just whatever, not have really no long term or no medium term or no short term, just what it is.
It pretty much exactly, um that's exactly what it is. Like, lust has no intention. It just is, right? There's no purpose behind it, and that's where it falls short. And I
Mm,
always tell people, date with purpose. That's the
mm,
problem, because it's like what we covered on the last if you're a podcast, if you're not dating with intention, then why are you entertaining this individual? Oh, I
mm,
want to see where it goes. No, what you're saying is, I want to test drive your heart.
mm.
No, date with purpose. Hey, look, I'm looking for kids, marriage. What do you want? Not on the first date, but you make it very clear what type of life you want, or experiences you want to have. And that's the thing with lust, you don't do that. You don't ask the tough questions. You say, you're good looking, I'm good looking, we'll go out, we'll have a fun time. And you know what? There's no problem if that's how you want to live your life. If that's what you want to do, that's completely fine. But understand that when you're living in this lust, you're growing an attachment. You're
Yes.
growing an attachment to somebody that you know is not for you, or you're growing an attachment to them, you know, just based off of attraction and fun, but no intention of it being anything more than that.
Mm. Yeah, I
And
agree. I totally agree with what you're saying.
yeah, and that's the downside caveat, because it's like, for me, it's like, yeah, we have a good time, but what?
Yeah, what's behind it? Yeah, and
Yeah, like,
especially
what's behind it?
yeah, and I like when you started when we started this conversation, you said especially like if you're 30s and 40s, it's
Yeah,
like oh, I mean, like there's still people probably in their 50s that just don't really want nothing from it. They just want to be by themselves, and that's
that's fine.
absolutely fine. There's nothing, but we're not speaking about those people. We're speaking about, when you're in your 40s, like I can only say that for myself because I am. Then I'm not looking, and I wouldn't be looking for somebody and then just have that lust and then find another one and then find another one. Like, no,
Yeah,
like I haven't done that in my 30s. Why would I do that in my 40s? Like it's whoever I meet now is I want that long term, and I want that to be a long term thing that grows into something quite substantial. And I'm not necessarily saying it's got to be marriage because, I've always said it's on the fence with that marriage. I've always been on the fence with marriage,
but it has to be like
but it has to be
something.
something solid. Yeah, there's got to be like an understanding between the two of us that we are actually together, and you're
Oh,
not
I would
going
say
out doing.
even deeper than that, because it's like, if you don't want marriage, which is fine, but you want some form of security, where it either
Well,
comes
yeah,
to, you guys have a house together,
yeah. There's got to be something you're working
or
towards
like, because you
together.
don't want to just be somebody's girlfriend forever, you know?
No,
So it's like,
no.
if you don't want the marriage, that's totally cool. But it's like, at least you guys like have a house together. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or
See, or your
something.
investments together, or you're building businesses together, you're
Yeah.
doing things together, you're growing and building together. And I think obviously sometimes like words can be very cheap, right? People can say things, but you
They
will know
can.
by the actions, right? The difference between the two. Like if someone's saying, oh, I really love you, and I just, I really, really love you, I love you so much, and I want to be with you, and then you don't hear a word from them for 7 days. Well, their actions are not really meeting their words. So you just got to really look at that to say, well, maybe have that conversation with the person. So hang on, you're telling me you love me, and I know that I love you, but I'm not seeing the action behind it. So, but anyway, let's go on to the other side where things are going well. Let's say, and everything's going fantastic and communication's flowing, blah, blah, blah. And you've voiced to each other that this is what you want, and you're building on that together. Then that's where you start feeling the security, because they're not going to go out and sleep with other people. You're not going to do that. And you know that because you know that, not because
You hope that.
Well, you hope that, but you do kind of know that, Michael. I think, like, you know, if somebody's not, I know, look, when I've been cheated on, I just knew. Like, I don't
Oh
know,
yeah,
I
like a
just
sense of
knew. You
knowing.
just
Yeah.
know. You just got a sense of knowing because
Well,
they don't know that they're doing things differently. And you know, because you know them, you've been around them for so long, and then they think that they're acting really cool when they've done nothing different. But your energy doesn't lie. You cannot hide your energy. We're energy beings. You cannot. No matter what you try and do, you can't hide that energy. And that energy is picked up by the other and you feel it. So,
well,
but
there's a reason why I said that, because the thing is, we never get to control the outcome, right? Like that's what
no,
I'm saying. When we date someone, it's a risk that we take to hope that they won't cheat on us. It's
yeah,
a
of
risk that
course.
we take to hope that they won't leave. Like not cheat, but just say, hey, it's not working out. It's a
Yeah, of
risk that
course.
comes with the territory, because I feel that even in a lot of times when we love somebody, we try to control the outcome. We
Of
try to say,
course.
I've done this for you. I've given this, and this, and this. That's you trying to control the outcome.
Yeah,
Love
I don't
doesn't do
agree with
that.
that. I don't
Yeah,
agree with
love
that.
doesn't do that, right? Love just is, right? So a lot of times people do try to control the narrative because they don't want you to leave, they don't want you to whatever, and it's like we never get to control outcomes. And I
No, and they
know
guilt
sometimes it's
trip on
hard.
it.
Yeah, and it's
Yeah,
hard sometimes for people to admit that, because the only thing you can control is what you do.
yeah. And I think we
That's
had a
it.
conversation just offline just a minute ago, and I was saying there's
Mm.
something with business that you
Yeah.
know, and where I put so much time and effort into something, and then when it all broke down, I couldn't go back and say, I could go back and say this, but I chose not to because to me it was like, but I chose to do these things. I chose to give my time. I chose to give my attention. I chose to do the work. Nobody put a gun to my head and said you had to do it. I chose that. So if something broke down at the end of it, I can't go back and play the blame game where so many people do, and they'll try and say, yeah, well, look what I've done for you. I've done A, B, C,
Yeah.
D, E, F, G, and try and make the other person feel guilty. And like you said, control the outcome. No, your
Mhm.
choice. You want to put that time and energy into someone, then you do that. But don't blame them if they decide they don't want to be there, because you can't make somebody want to be with you. You can put
Yeah.
yourself forward and you can communicate with them and you can ask to see them or you can ask to be around
Yeah.
them. But if they're not bringing that back to you, then
If
just
they're not
know,
reciprocating, you're
yeah,
literally getting the signs
yeah,
that it is not love, but it's lust. You just
yeah,
want their attention.
yeah,
That's
for
what it
sure.
is, because
Yeah,
there's a lack of, because love reciprocates.
yeah,
It's a flow
absolutely
of
it
things. It's
does.
like as you said, it's a flow of things.
Yeah, it's a
So
flow.
there's that thing of reciprocation. And if there's none of that, you clearly only lust for them. You want their
Hmm.
attention. You don't want them to talk to other people but you. And that's lust. That's like, give me your attention. But it's like at the same time, it's like with the lack of reciprocation, you're getting all the answers you need that they're not for you.
Mm,
And that's why I believe in detachment so well, that when it comes to lust, it's a very deep hole. And what I mean by that is, a lot of times we'll lust after someone, even if, let's say, they do entertain you, right? You guys are rolling around in the hay, bedroom fun, but you know you shouldn't be there. But you keep going back. It's like people that keep going back to exes and people that keep doing those things. That's lust.
mm,
You know you shouldn't be with them. You know that. But
mm.
it's just you don't want to accept the reality of it.
Yeah, absolutely. And it is hard for people to accept the reality of it because when you do put your time into someone, you do,
You don't get that time back.
you don't get that time back. No, you don't. And so I just think like if you're not with, if you don't want to be with someone and you're just there because you're just trying to take something from them or you just want to have their time and you know that that person really does love you and wants to be with you, stop being a poop head about it, right? And just tell them because it's
Let them
not,
go. Let them go though.
let
But
them
some people
go.
can't
Just
do
tell
that.
them,
Like,
like, yeah, but why can't people do that, Michael? I find it like, I find human beings to be quite, I don't know what the word is, but sometimes I just think
selfish.
selfish, so selfish. It's like, just tell the other person. It's like if someone's cheating, who gives you the right to go and do that and not tell the other person? Give them the opportunity. Why should you just have the opportunity and not the other person because you're scared to lose them? No, that's so controlling. And I find it so much in relationships where people just go and do what they want to do and they leave the other person hanging there. And I just think it's so rude and it's so horrible and bad, because take this life for a blessing it is. Like, do you know how many people didn't wake up this morning and don't have life today? And we are here breathing. And then you think that you've got the right to come around and just treat people and just do what you want to do with them and not give them the opportunity to go and find that right person for them, because you don't want to let go of them, but you want to go and do your own thing. Stop doing that. And I think, a lot of men do it. And I know that women do it too, but I know a lot of men do it. They just keep women hanging so often.
Well, I would say both parties do it. Both parties do, because let's put it this way. Let's say you break up with somebody, but either or the guy or the girl keeps going back to them, and the person only keeps giving them bedroom fun or hangs out with them from time to time, but they're not reciprocating in a romantic way. It's just, hey, we just have bedroom fun. It's nice to hang out with you from time to time, and that's it. That's why I always just say let them go completely. Like let them go completely, because you understand also, and this is where the entitlement thing comes in, and this is where it's so dangerous. You have to understand nobody owes you nothing.
Exactly. No,
So
but
like
they don't owe you anything, Michael, but
no.
there's a respect, man.
It is, but also understand that they don't owe you that either. That's a choice. If, like, let's say for example someone cheats on you, they don't owe you to tell you. They
Well,
should tell you.
yeah, if you're with them, they do owe you to tell you. Yes, of course they owe you to tell you, because now
Nobody, but
you're
nobody owes
stopping
you
someone
nothing.
else. No, but you're stopping someone else's life. Like, who
You
gives you the
are,
right to do that?
you are 100%. I'm agreeing with you. I'm just saying though, nobody owes you that. Like, let's be honest. Like, nobody owes you to say, yeah, you know what, I cheated. It's more of, what's the word I'm looking for? It's more of like a courtesy that you would like them to. But let's be honest, how many people are going to tell you? Because you hear the stories of people being cheated on for months and months and months and months. They're still keeping that person, and then they're cheating on them as well. But it's also understanding that, yes, what they're doing is very terrible. I'm not advocating cheating in any shape, way, or form. But what I'm saying is that nobody owes you diddly. Like,
So
yes, it
sad,
would be
isn't it?
nice. It would be nice to have like a choice to say, hey, why did you cheat on me or whatever? It would be nice, because at the same time, I've also learned that, think about it, nobody owes you your time. Nobody owes you their attention. Nobody
Mm-mm,
owes you their energy. Nobody, you don't, no one owes you that. And you
mm-mm.
don't
No,
owe
you're right.
them that. It's a choice.
Yeah, but if you've been with someone for 10 years and you've just given, and you've had a brilliant relationship for 10 years, let's say, and then that
Mhm.
person goes out and finds somebody, then no, they don't to you, but you
You don't.
sure should go and tell that
Yeah,
person so that they
exactly.
can
You
get on
should,
with it. Yeah, but
because that's the
no,
thing.
you're right.
When we start to say, you do owe me, it's like, now you're saying demanding,
Yeah,
without understanding that nobody owes us nothing. You cannot
yeah,
make those level of demands. It would be nice for a person to say, hey, like, this and this and this, or explain their situation, or hey, I cheated, or this happened, or whatever. It would be nice, but no one owes us those things.
no, no,
It's
they
more
don't.
of a
No, you're
level
right.
of 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 politeness to say, you know what, I think I cheated on you, whatever, right? It's a level
Mm,
of respect. But
mm-hmm.
I'm just saying, not everybody moves that way.
Mm-mm. No, hardly anybody moves that way, Michael, because like you said, people are, and I don't disagree with being selfish to a certain degree, but I just think at the end of the day, you just treat people how you would like to be treated. And I think if there's just like a human way to be, it's like a decency about yourself. And
Yeah,
like I said, you're only here once on this life, in this life, being who you are, being the person. My name, Anthea Morphitis. I'm not going to come and relive this life as Anthea Morphitis and do the same thing again. So while I'm here, it's like I expect the people that interact with me to have some kind of some, yes, to have a respect level towards me, and if they're not wanting to be around me, then don't have to say, we could just walk away, just block me, so at least I know that that's it. Like, you don't even have to talk about it, just walk away.
Yeah, true.
Don't be in somebody's life if you don't want to be in that person's life properly. You're either in their life or you're not in their life. Just don't do the in between and try and mess up with people's minds, because it's enough going on in the world without having having a person that you adore trying to mess you up emotionally and mentally.
I agree. I agree. And that's the thing, right? Like it messes us up emotionally 100%, but that's why we always just learn every single time nobody owes you nothing.
Mm,
When you learn to just, all you can do is bring yourself
mm,
and be the best version of yourself to
mm,
that situation. That's the best
mm,
thing you can do. You can't control the narrative, you can't control the outcome. Because
mm,
think about it, what is love? Love is patient, kind, genuine, all those things.
mm,
Love's not controlling, manipulative, and saying, "Hey, I did this, and this for you."
mm.
That's more of your ego side
Yes,
of saying
yes,
things.
yes, yes, yes,
That's more
yes.
of your ego. That's more of, why aren't you giving me what I want?
Yeah,
But then
and
that's at the
demanding.
same time, it's like, why would you date somebody that's gonna not
Bring you
be
to
as
that point.
reciprocated?
Yeah,
Yeah, bring you to that point. Exactly.
yeah,
Why would you date
exactly.
somebody where it's like pulling teeth to
Yeah,
get them to reciprocate?
yeah, exactly, exactly,
You
exactly.
would you
If
wouldn't.
somebody's not asking you to see you, and you're always asking them, "Can I see you?" Then
Yeah.
walk away.
Yeah, it's not only that. If like you have to beg for things, if you are like, like for their time, attention, energy, even in a relationship, and that's why we're saying that that's how you know the difference between the two. Because if you love someone, they're either A, gonna reciprocate it back, and you guys are gonna build something beautiful, or B, they're not.
Mm,
So then it morally falls in your area where you're just lusting after this individual, someone that's not even gonna reciprocate the love you're giving,
mm,
or like you're not aware that it is just lust because this person's off living their own life, doing their own thing, and you're sitting dreaming like, oh, I wish we could be together, I really like you, blah, blah. And it's like, that's lust.
mm.
So
100%.
again, guys, this one was a really short one for today. We have some new topics coming up next week. We have a special guest on Wednesday. um, Next week's going to be a banger week. And then next Friday, we're actually going to be talking about shaming, and shaming language, and how like nobody should be shamed for their preferences and what they want. Because honestly, we'll touch on it a little bit. I feel that there's too much of that. I feel that when somebody tells you, like, for example, I'll use myself. I'll meet females and I know what I want right now. I'm looking to date and be in a relationship, and they'll say, "Well, we can be friends." I'm like, "No, I'm not interested in that." They always get upset. "Why don't you want to be my friend?" Blah, blah. Because you want friendship, I can't give you that.
Mm,
What you want, I can't give because I
mm,
don't want that.
mm,
But then you're shamed for not wanting what they want.
mm. It's going to
And
be an
it's like,
interesting
if
one.
if I take your friendship, that benefits you.
Yeah, and not me.
It doesn't benefit me because I want a relationship.
Mm,
So we're actually going to cover that next Friday. And then our special guest is going to be talking about masculinity on Wednesday. And then on Monday, we're going to have a special topic for you guys. We always do, anyways.
excellent.
Um, anyways, with that all being said, guys, again, we appreciate it. Please like, share, subscribe. We actually have some amazing stuff coming. If you want to check it out, go check our Instagram.
Excellent.
Go check our Instagram at loveandrelationships.podcast. And so you don't have to watch the full videos of our podcast. You can watch the short clips. They're 3 minutes long, and it summarizes pretty much our podcast in 3 minutes.
I love it.
So,
Excellent. But thank you guys. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for being here with us. I hope you enjoyed, and we will catch you next week.
yes, guys, please, before we go, like, share, subscribe. And these conversations, as I said, they're conversations, they're tough, but they need to be had
For sure.
because nobody teaches us the difference between love and lust. No one does. We kind of figure it out ourselves. So, with that being said, guys, we will see you guys on Monday. Take care of yourselves.
See ya.